Welcome back to One Piece Anime Review episode number 65. This one covering episodes 801 to 806. And I just looked it up. I was looking at basically because this is kind of getting close toward what I caught up with 5 years ago. And yeah, I pretty much went to the point where I caught up with when I was reviewing the series regular basis 5 years ago. Yeah. Basically, 806 was the first regular episode I reviewed for the series. And that was 5 years ago. And yeah, I'm finally up to this point, which is quite something to say the least. Yes, I'm up to exactly where I left off, basically, because I was bench watching a lot of the time. So officially with this one, I am up to where I started reviewing for the series. Yep, I have. Now, in the first couple episodes, basically, we kind of continue the whole thing with Castellet, where right after Sanji protected her from being hit with a plate, he proceeds to eat some food that Myers are cooking. And then later on, we see her where she gets basically beaten the crap out of by Neji just for having an attraction to Sanji. Then, of course, basically Sanji meets up with Neji at the end of episode 802 after finding out the dastardly secret of the German 66. What is the secret of their power? Cloning! Yes, they're massive cloners. Also, in the case of Collect, after 802, she's never seen again. I am not kidding about that. I've looked it up. She has not made appearance since then. I would not be surprised if she popped up in the current stuff for the... Oh, that's cool. Yeah, my app was shut off yesterday. The app was discontinued. So, yeah, everything is back to normal. Yep. Yeah. So, basically, here, so, yeah. So, right after that, Neji and basically all three of his brothers basically beat the crap out of him because of a special condition, because they're holding the old man hostage, Zareth. Yeah, and the reason for this, so basically, Zareth appears in flashback. Now, the flashback shown here, now, unlike the previous time where he showed flashback, which I already seen that before, way back in the Barate arc, this one, we show a different flashback in this particular arc, per se. Yes, what flashback do we see? Sanji'S backstory before he became a chef. Where basically he's training with his siblings, and he's very weak, and then pretty much... So, and it shows the fact that he's actually quite weak. Yes, he is quite weak. Mm-hmm. Yep. So, I clicked on the wrong thing here. Anyways, so he's considered to be quite weak. So Judd decided to do the most stupidest thing possible, and because basically his children are scientifically enhanced. Now his daughter has some advancement, but she doesn't have the full. Now it's filled by her in part two of that little two-part flashback that she has her emotions, despite the fact she has the same enhancements as her brothers, except for Sanji, of course. Except she actually has emotion. Yep. Though I tend to wonder that with all those enhancements, does it prevent her from having children? Who the heck freaking knows? Yes, it all depends upon, well, if Oda basically makes her mother or not. I basically think she probably would. So, yes. By the way, what was Judge do in response to finding out that his third son is weak? He decided to have his death get faked, and then force him to put on a metal mask. Man in the Iron Mask up. Oh, here's a little fun fact about the mask. In the manga, they actually had the hair. From what I heard run online, apparently in the original release of the chapter the episode was based on, that the hair was actually over the wrong eye. That's the way it was originally when it came out. When it was translated over here, and I think when it was released in trade paperback form over there, they actually fixed it. It was basically something that was called out by Oda, and he fixed it. He basically probably made a mistake, so there's that. So then he stays there for quite some time. Now, we also shown in this flashback his mother, before he was one of the Iron Mask. His very beautiful mother, who face-wise looks exactly like his sister, except that his sister did not inherit the blonde hair. Isn't that quite weird, though? The Judge is a blonde, and yet of all 5 of his kids, only his third son has got blonde hair. Yeah, as far as I can tell, there's like no explanation for this. Now, Sora, who is Sanji's beautiful mother, who is very sick, they actually don't really explain like what she died of. It's possible she basically suffered through all the enhancements that her husband put her through. Yes. She is voiced by Chris McGuire in the English dub. Yes, as in the very same woman who voices the awesome Malim from That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. So, yeah, 2 major anime just this year where I get a chance to hear her voice. And she is awesome as Sora. And she appears for like one scene. So Sanji appears for some food and gives her this backpack. It's raining outside, and she ever eat it, no problem. She loves it, and she tells Sanji, "Come back next time, you get food." And then she dies off screen. So I have a grave, and then right after that, that's when he was put in the mask, and he's there for quite a while until they reach the East Blue. Yeah, basically, his sister does mention to him, because apparently she found out before brothers did, that he was already alive anyways, because she didn't believe. So, also shown in flashback that whenever he gets beaten up by his brothers, she is the one who ends up basically patching him up. Yes, his sister. Who, from his point of view, is more tolerable than his brothers. He hates his brothers. He tolerates his sister, no problem. Yep. Now, he doesn't tell her F off, or he doesn't swear at her, probably because he's given respect for her because of how well she treated him when he was a kid. So, after they cross up, now how do you think, and they come across the red line, how do they get across this? Well, they took the German 6-6 country apart, put on snails, and just rode over the red line. And then they're having East Blue, the thing is under attack, just as soon as they get there. So Sanji comes with an interesting plan, basically to run away from the German 6, what they call 6-6 in the anime. I've heard it was 66 because that's his number. So basically, his father has no problem with him running away. As a matter of fact, he actually approves of it. And he says, okay, you can run away, but I have one condition. You cannot tell anybody that you're related to me. That's his only demand that he tells his third son, Sanji. He cries, takes the mask off, and he doesn't see his father again until present day. Yep. And he goes off in the very boat that Zara basically ran into him on. Yes, this is just by sheer coincidence having the very same boat. A cooking boat, per se, because basically Sanji wanted to be a chef. So at a very young age, before he worked for Zara, he really wanted to become a chef, even before he got there. So, and then we see that he got massively beaten up by his siblings. So we couldn't show his face to Beyonce the way he was. So Renju put this like plastic mask on his face, basically the swelling. Because even the swelling has gone away, your healing process will be quite slow. But at least be presentable to your beautiful fiance. Yep. That's simply the gist of it. Oh, and she played a small role in this particular arc. Don't worry about that. Yeah, unlike her brothers, well, the other 3 brothers, not Sanji, she's not an idiot. She's actually quite intelligent. She actually found out about the dastardly plans of the Big Mom family later on. Oh, yeah, she finds out about it. And finds out about Pudding's secret. I'm not going to spoil it right now because it is quite strange, to say the least. Yes, so pretty much basically, like, they arrive at the castle, and we have a brief scene in the whole entire thing of, well, Big Mom, and then we have some records with Luffy. In the case of Luffy, we continue the long battle he has with Cracker. First, he's recovering, Nine takes him on, and does okay against them, but basically fries the Biscuit Warriors. And Luffy recovers. He battles for a little while, but he gets hungry. So I was like, I got an idea. Soften the biscuits up with rain. And then he uses melon juice on him later on, and he eats a whole lot of Biscuit Warriors, making him humongously overweight. And of course, Crocker's like, a human cannot eat that much. But it's Luffy, what do you expect? So he eats like hundreds of Biscuit Warriors. And he goes to Gear 4 Tank Man Stuffed Mode. That's what he refers to it as. Yes, it's the debut of the tank mode. And the thing is, he does move like a tank, but this is pretty much his tank mode. Yes, this is his debut. And here's the strange thing about this tank form. From what I remember, this is the only appearance of the tank form this one episode. Because this tank form, as far as I can tell, does not appear again. Because I think, like, right after this episode, he does not do this form ever again. It's just a variant of the form. Like, this only does it for, like, one episode, and that's it. Unlike his later form he uses. Because basically the general form is the Bouncing Man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is the standard form for Gear 4. The second form, he only did it once, and as far as I can tell, that was it. Yeah, and then pretty much he starts shrinking, and of course he has to meet with Sanji. Also during the fight, Cracker proceeds to chop out King Worm's top of his head. It was too easy to be alive. And eventually, of course, Cracker is defeated, and he's sent flying, and he is left unconscious, found by his siblings, Opera, Mandarin, and Gauntlet. And that's the last to see of Cracker for the rest of the arc. Yeah, after 806, he is never seen again. Until he pops up in the German 66 incursion story arc in the cover stories. Yeah, he popped up just recently. After not appearing for years. Yes, for a long time. Yeah, he pops up again. Like, it just seems as though like he's here just to be the first guy Luffy fights. He does appear again to actually a very recent chapter. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he basically was defeated in the manga with that chapter 843. Excuse me. And it takes him 245 chapters to make a return, though on a cover story. Yes, it is the Emotions German's Emotions Incursion Volume 10, which, yeah, that 10th chapter, that was actually from chapter 1048. Yep. And that was pretty much the way his most recent day was popping up here, where he is awake and he's seeing his sister. Yep. But that was last he saw Cracker. Yeah, he's defeated, and of course, Big Mom is wondering what the heck is going on. And then, of course, she's not informed just yet of what happened to Cracker. But yeah, Cracker's defeated, so that wraps up one plot thread for this one. Meanwhile, though, in Mirror World, we see Chopper and Kara just wandering around, wondering where the heck basically Sanji is. They do finally find Sanji, except he's looking the other way after many different misses, and find out. Oh, and then they spot Sanji's sister, his beautiful sister, wear a red cape, and then of course, basically, seemingly right outside. Oh yeah, by the way, Carrot and Chopper are captured by Brayley at the end of this thing. So this is actually a plot that will continue for a little while, not very much longer. And then we have Sanji go into the carriage, where he gets a cape on, and this is going to lead into the very next episode. The next episode of the series, episode 807, 808, is in fact a 45-minute episode, the longest runtime episode of the whole series. It's roughly a two-parter aired over the course of an entire hour. Yeah, and that's episode 808, 807, 808. Now, I'll probably get chance videos probably soon. My guess is probably next week. Excuse me, is when finally those chapters get released, because I did hear basically that yes, there's another set of episodes coming out, though Microsoft made an error. I saw on Twitter that they set up to 815, which that was actually error on their part, and I looked it up. They're actually going straight to 818, roughly 12 episodes. Yep, so the next set of episodes I'll discuss, episodes 807, 818, and that'll be whenever they come out. Okay, so that's it, particular review. Stay tuned. Next year is going to be a comic quarter. And then, right after that, it will be Skeleton in Their World. Okay, next video. Bye.